Okay.
Are you physically great? Are you emotionally well? Are you spiritually well? If any of those three things are out of whack, your business will feel that, and you will feel that. Your business won't do very well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of Behind the Small Business Podcast. My name is Kevin Dandino, and as always, I am more than happy to be with you here today. We got a fantastic guest, Alex Lammers, owner of Lammers Insurance Agency, and we'll bring her up here in just a second to allow her to tell her story. But first, guys, remember, this is brought to you by Centennial State Insurance Agency. If you have any insurance needs, you can reach out to us or Alex over here at Lammers Insurance Agency, and we'd be more than happy to take care of you. But also open invitation to all all business owners. If you'd like to be on the podcast, let us know, and we will set you up on a future episode. But Alex, thank you for waiting. How you doing today?
So good. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Oh, this is going to be a good time. Good time. So one of the things I always preach here on this podcast is business owners, even of the same business type, collaborating and working together, not feeling like they're my competition. I can't reason with them or talk to them in any way, shape, or form, right? And so I figure, it's good to have you here. We're going to practice what we preach. So it is awesome to have another insurance agency up here today. But I want to hand it over to you. Introduce yourself and tell us about Lammers Insurance Agency.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm Alex Lammers. Nice to meet you all. Owner of the insurance agency that we started a handful of years ago. And we're having a great time. We love what we do. It's myself and my husband, and we have an assistant, and we're rocking and rolling. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So first off, you and your husband, like that's always a unique twist to business ownership, right? It's one thing when you're obviously you're married and your spouse is supporting you, but when you're in business together, that adds another complexity to a lot of different things, right? So just in general, how have things been going there at Lammers Insurance Agency from the building, ground up, getting started, and going through that experience of starting a brand new business and then incorporating like the family aspect to it too?
Yeah, for sure. So I started it on my own initially, and I started from scratch, meaning I was not initially given a book of business. I had nothing. I also had no prior insurance experience. My parents were in insurance, so I understood more that it is what I wanted to do from that. But nothing. I just did the training and then I just went for it. And I opened my independent agency, and other insurance agents that heard I was doing that was like, you're crazy. how could you possibly, not be a assistant or a CSR first or, anything like that. And I think that just is pure entrepreneurial spirit. You just have to go for it sometimes. And I think that's something that happens with entrepreneurs. And when you open a new business is if you knew how hard it was going to be, you would never do it. You just have to go for it and just try. Right.
Sure.
And that's what I did. And I had a lot of fun. I love, insuring farms and going out to the farm and going, great. What do you do? What do you grow? What's the machinery? I used to farm. Right.
Gotcha.
And also just other fellow business owners. Same thing. What are you doing? What are your goals? What are you trying to grow into? So we can make sure that your insurance is taking you there as well. Right. Every business owner, you need a team behind you, right? You need your accountant and a lawyer to help your contracts and your insurance agent. Just being part of the team of other businesses is awesome.
It's really cool because we get to experience that as well. And so you're right. The people interaction side of it all is such a big part it keeps me going too, especially when you see like somebody, we found them a better quote, a better policy, they're better covered, they have more peace of mind. Kind of curious, because we're in the situation of we see the things that these other small business owners are going through or farms or whatever. And there's always these commercials. Right? I love the commercials of, oh, did you open a new business? Come on over to this app. 5 minutes, you'll have a quote. And you're like, is that really protecting you? Like you got the piece of paper, but so what do you see, when it comes to new business owners and trying to insure them properly and helping them understand like this is more than just a piece of paper. This is supposed to give you that peace of mind that you can operate and not worry about losing everything.
Right. Well, a lot of times, they're not licensed insurance agents, right? So they just don't even know how good it could be for them. It's more than just your general liability policy. There's so many other things that can be highly customized to your business. Insurance is not one size fits all. That's for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, even just based on location or what kind of machinery you have. I mean, is the machinery traveling with you? Is it just staying in one building? I mean, there's so much detail to it. It's
For sure.
yeah,
No, it's a lot. So, and that's a conversation we can continue to have, or just
yeah,
for everybody out there. Look, if you're in the market for insurance, like these are things that you can reach out to either one of our agencies for, and we'd be more than happy to really help set you up for success there.
yeah.
Um, so I want to hear a little bit more, about the journey you've gone through in
Mhm.
terms of this actual starting of the business, because that's
Right.
such a huge, momentous jump and leap of faith, right? You're saying if people
Mhm.
didn't know how difficult it was, they wouldn't do it. So, from your experience, how did you overcome those initial difficulties, and what do you think helps set you up for success years down the road here?
Yeah. Blind faith and a wild amount of confidence.
I love it. Good answer. Honest answer.
Is my answer to that, and part of why this industry is so attractive to me is because success is limitless. You're not limited by someone else's budget, someone else's boss, or if you had a boss, then you're not limited by them. I couldn't stand being an employee because of that. And I've had awesome bosses. I've had great experiences. I've also had not great experiences. Everybody has. But when you have a boss, I would occasionally know when something was the right thing to do or is the best option because I was the expert on a scenario, but then I wasn't allowed to do my best or do the right thing. Right. And
Yep.
being able to do that is so much more satisfying. Right.
Yeah.
As a business owner, that feels good. Um, and also with this, I mean, if the agency is doing well or if it's doing poorly, that's on me.
Sure.
Right. If it's slow, it's because I was slow. If it's going gangbusters, that's because I was working my tail off, right? And prospecting
Exactly.
and doing awesome stuff like that. And I would rather have that reliance on myself, instead of relying on others to do well. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
that's such a big part of it, is wanting to not answer to anyone and say, I'm going to
Mm,
do this my way, what I feel is best and everything. And that's
right.
in some ways very, it frees them up a little bit, but it's also a
Mm,
lot of pressure, because like you're saying,
sure.
if something goes wrong, it's probably because you messed
Thousand
up,
percent.
or,
Yeah. You have to own it. You can't blame anybody else.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I like that. Some people also thrive under pressure and some do not. I think I do better under pressure, which there is some good and bad to that, right? Because if I'm procrastinating and then there's a whole lot of pressure, that can be a negative pressure, or you can put a positive pressure on yourself. Like my husband and I are trying to buy a house. That's positive pressure. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
exactly.
We have goals to achieve. Yeah.
Sure, sure. But having those goals, I mean, that's important too, because I think, especially as business owners have been in their role for years, it's easy to get complacent, right?
Mm,
You feel
mm,
like, okay, I found my groove, things are going, like,
mm,
and then it's almost like it's very easy to get that growth to stop, because you're
mm,
just like, I've made it. It's been 5-10 years, I can take a breath,
mm,
but it's so easy to just get stuck in that realm then too.
mm,
So, and it sounds like you're kind of in this part of, you've been doing it for a while now. So what are
mm.
you doing to maybe help make sure that you don't get complacent, or any advice you have for other business owners to make sure they don't get in that spot, or if they are, how to
Yeah.
bust out of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So earlier this year, I was experiencing burnout. And that is a couple of reasons. One of which is because I absorbed a new book of business last year. So that was a huge influx of
Mm,
consumers and clients and businesses I had to introduce myself to and go, what the heck is going on here? Right. And dive in there. So that was a lot of work. But also I started to get complacent earlier this year. And I was just showing up to the office. I was doing my service work. I was just kind of in a routine. But also in my office, I'm usually the only person here. Our assistant is remote. And I'm a people person. I like talking. Can you tell? um,
right here.
right. So when you own a business and if you're not having a good time and you're starting to get burnout, it's really not the business's fault. It's your own fault. Right. So I had to kind of go through that mental challenge there and figure out what do I love? Why am I kind of hating this right now? What is going on? Right. And I had to
Mm-hmm.
kind of figure that out. And part of it was I wasn't seeing people ever. I mean, other than my husband, who's my bestie, right?
Right.
But you need
You
other
need more
people
than just
too,
one person.
right? So yeah, so because of that, I started going to networking twice a week, and that helped a lot, a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And of course, that brought business in, right? But also, I'm just happier that
Sure.
way. Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, that sort of
I
thing.
think that networking, there's so many different ways to do it.
Mm,
People talk about they're just very active on Facebook groups, and they
mm,
interact with people that way. There's obviously all those different kind of networking functions where you can go out there and meet people
mm,
in real time and everything. So again, kind of what advice or would you give to people that maybe are not networking currently and
mm,
maybe not seeing the real benefit of it, especially if they're finding success early in their business?
mm. Well, I would say that there's different types of prospecting, right? Some of it you get immediate reward, and some of it is long-term reward, right?
Mm.
You want to be your community's go-to for whatever it is you're doing, and that's what networking allows you to become. And whatever circles you want to be that in, right?
Yeah.
Whatever your niche is, so that if they dislike their product they're buying from someone else, they should be buying it from you. A year or two from now, they call you.
Yeah.
Even now, I did a cold email year and a half ago, and I saw a result just recently from it. I mean,
Yeah.
it just takes time. Maybe they just don't need you right now, but they will later. They
Hmm.
generally will always need you later on. You just got to stay top of mind and be that person for them.
Right. You got to find a balancing act in that too,
Mm,
because you see companies that you check your personal email anymore and it's just flooded with
sure.
offers and
I'm
promos
I'm not
and you're
saying I'm
like,
recommending cold emailing.
right. No, 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 no. But it is something that we
It's
need to do
valid.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a tool to use, but you have to be careful when you
Mhm.
use these tools because it's very easy to cross that line of, hey, I'm staying at the forefront of their mind, just a
Mhm.
reminder every now and then, versus buy my product now and shoving it down their throats to the point they're like, I want nothing to do with you. Go
Yeah,
away.
that's what you get unsubscribed from. Yeah.
For sure. So it's definitely a balancing act.
Yeah.
Kind of want to hear, also, as you've gone through this experience, what were some of the highs and lows that you've gone through? And maybe
Mhm.
some ways that you found to overcome those. Maybe it's something that's unique just to being an
Mm,
insurance agent and running an agency, or that is kind of applicable across the broader spectrum to other business owners.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I would say, in a really simple way, highs are when business is going well and lows are when it's not going well, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, for me, I see three areas you need to keep up with, or else your business will not do well.
Okay.
Are you physically great? Are you emotionally well? Are you spiritually well? If any of those three things are out of whack, your business will feel that and you will feel
Mm,
that. Your business won't do very well. So if you just need to keep on top of those three things. Are you getting sunshine? Are you getting away from screens? Are you going for a
yeah.
walk every day? Are you spending time with your loved ones? Are you, whatever your faith is, are you spending time with God? And
Hmm.
are you praying? Are you asking for help? Are you keeping the faith? All three of those things are just huge. And when those are not
Yeah.
going well, the business suffers for sure.
And it's so easy. I mean, I'm not a business owner myself in terms of
Mhm,
running a big operation like this. I mean, I got the
mhm.
multiple podcasts and stuff, but even I feel it's
Of
so
course.
easy to just let me get a couple of these things done. And before you know it, 4 or 5, 6 hours have passed because you've gotten
Mm,
distracted with other little tasks that you've had to do. And before you know
yeah.
it, the day's gone. And maybe you haven't even accomplished everything you wanted to.
Mhm.
So it's so easy to fall into that. You don't have time to take care of yourself. And so unless you make it a priority,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's huge.
but I like that point. It's huge, and it's something that I think every business owner needs to be reminded from time to time of,
Mhm.
hey, how are you doing? Like, enough about the business side. How are you? Like, what are
Right.
you doing to take care of yourself?
I
So
mean, the whole point of doing this is so that you like your lifestyle, so that you like
exactly.
yourself, so that you like what you're doing, right? I'm not
Yeah.
saying I love filling out all of the paperwork all the time. Don't get me wrong,
Sure.
but that, I mean, I do if there's a good podcast on, that's great.
Like this one, cough, cough, behind the small business. What?
Yeah, like this one. um, but yeah, I mean, but it allows me to have a great lifestyle elsewhere. And
That's
that's,
awesome.
and also provide for my family, we have a 1-year-old and I'm pregnant again, so we have a lot
Congratulations.
going on. Thank you. Yeah. And this business allows me to do all those things. Now, do I get maternity leave? Absolutely not. No,
Of course.
no, of course not. But that, to me, that's worth it, because if my baby is sick, I can stay home and answer the
Yeah.
phone from while he's in my lap if I need to,
Yeah.
that's not the norm, but if that needs to happen, it can.
Right. It gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge to
Mhm.
balance all of that.
Mhm.
And it's so easy to get out of whack.
Yeah.
And especially if you have multiple employees, like you have your assistant. Do you have anyone else other than your assistant that operates under you there? Or?
Just to have my husband and I working
Okay.
together. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even whether it's a small group or maybe somebody has 10, 15 employees, if the
Mhm.
owner is in a bad mood because they're
Oh,
sick and they haven't taken time off
yeah.
for themselves in a while,
It affects the company. Yeah.
everyone feels it. And then, it puts the other people in a bad mood. And then clients come in and they pick up
Yeah.
on the bad mood. And sorry,
Yeah.
that's not the vibe you want to give off when you're trying to
Yeah.
bring clientele.
Yeah.
So major point there for all business owners. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves.
It's kind of like when you go hiking and camping, you want to leave the place better than when you found it. Take out any trash you find with you along with your trash, right? You don't want to bring trash into the office and leave it there. You want to remove trash from the office, remove trash from your clients. They may come in a bad mood because something's not going their way, but they don't have to leave that way, right?
Yeah. I'm going to steal that example. That's really good. And that's a great way to put, especially out here in Colorado. I mean, we all know camping and stuff.
We get
So I mean,
it. Yeah.
that's a good way to really phrase it.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, one of the other things I wanted to bring up, and something we ask a bunch of business owners, when it comes to community involvement and things that business owners do. And it's so cool to hear just the wide range of answers, anything from people just helping out NGOs or small nonprofits, not NGOs, small profits or nonprofits, or putting on. I had a guest on last time that their kid has some mental problems and got into LARPing, and so through their bid, like they put on this big LARPing thing for kids in their community, right? Awesome. And it's just it's personal to them, but they go out of their way to help others around them. So kind of curious, like what kind of things do you do, small, big, whatever, or advice that you have for people that are maybe like, I want to get more involved, but I don't have the time, the resources, things like that.
You always have the time. That's my first answer. There's always time. I mean, do you have a Netflix subscription? If the answer is yes, you have time. And a couple of things I do is I'm huge for getting women in business together. And I think that we have some pretty awesome communities out there. I love to help with those, love to volunteer at those events and help them just go awesome, right? And then also lately, I'm starting to volunteer for Denver Urban Gardens, and they just do community gardens in the area. And selfishly, I just need to get my hands in soil and dirt sometimes, right? I think we all do. I just really know that about myself. So just helping out that way, and just, and you do meet people that are wonderful in those spheres. I mean, if they're also volunteering, they're probably pretty great people.
Yeah. That's for sure. And then it's also kind of a networking thing that way too.
Sure.
That's not the primary purpose of doing it, but it's kind of a secondary, outcome from doing that.
Anytime you're not in your house, it's great.
Exactly. Or, as a business owner stuck behind your screen, right? If you can get out there. But it's so important, I think, for us business owners to not just, help each other out, but help the community out, because yes, it helps business, and that's a great, like I said, side effect, but we are in this position of really bringing people together. And to take advantage of that is key. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Like you're saying, going out there and doing the gardening thing and helping improve, the area that people live in or walk in or
Yeah.
see every day.
Mhm.
That impacts a lot of people for a small little thing, you know?
Yeah. Every city is a food desert, in one form or another. So any garden, any urban farms, I love working with urban farms. Found some really cool ones around Denver, which is awesome. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay. Well, that's just another great example, and I love to hear it. So, like you said,
yeah,
if you got a Netflix account, you
yeah.
got time. You just need to find something that speaks to you, and
Right,
make it personal. That's okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now that we have a little bit more time and being an insurance agent as well, I kind of want to pick your brain. There's so many different things about just insurance in Colorado right now in
Mm,
general. I mean, you could look at the country.
mhm.
It's kind of becoming a bigger and bigger issue. But so what are some of the things that you're seeing for small business owners when it comes to insurance, particular struggles or things they need to watch out for, in this day and age?
Sure. Well, Colorado, in some senses, we are still the wild, wild west, right? So wildfire is a major issue.
Yeah.
So I'm having a lot of people coming to my agency because they have tried getting insurance with their current agent and elsewhere, but they're just way up there in the mountains surrounded by junipers, right?
Hmm.
And the fire station is a volunteer fire station that is 10 miles away, you know?
Right.
So that's tough. But so far, you do still have an insurance option. And that's good. And there is also legislation happening. The government is working on it, and they are trying to make sure that if you are currently uninsurable, that you can still get insurance.
Yeah.
Of course, the government provided insurance options right now are not super awesome, but it's in progress. It's in
Yeah.
progress. For business owners, I would just say, work with your agent and go through every line item of your coverages and say, does this actually help me? And what else could help me that I don't have?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a worldwide scenario, but yeah.
Sure. Well, a good frame of mind that I kind of presented before to other people was, if there's anything that when you get home and you're going to bed and you're trying to fall asleep and a
Mm,
little thought pops into your mind of,
mm,
ooh, that almost happened today and that was kind of a close call, or ooh, what if this
yeah.
happens? Those are the things that you need to talk to
Mhm.
your insurance agent about and say, hey,
Right.
I'm concerned. And am I
Mhm.
covered up for this? What would happen if
Right.
that unfolded?
Right. Or also as your business is evolving, maybe you're not doing
Yeah.
these activities anymore, but now you're doing these, you let us know. Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure your policy
It's
covers that. And then you don't need to cover this other risk anymore because you're not doing it anymore. Yeah.
yeah. You guys put so much time, energy, blood, sweat, tears into
Mm,
building your businesses that to have it all go away and be taken away because of something happening that you weren't covered for
yeah.
um, is just something you don't want to experience. And so I know insurance is scary and frustrating and confusing and overwhelming, but it's one of those things that
It doesn't have to
if you
be.
don't have it, yeah, it doesn't have to be. And
Mhm.
part of it is, I'll just say, when you call these big companies and stuff, you
Mhm.
don't know who you're going to get on the other end of the line. They
Right.
don't know you. They don't care about you other than your premium and did you pay on time?
Yeah.
To me, I can't really trust those people because I don't trust that they have my best interest in mind. But
Right.
for the smaller insurance agencies like you and I here, you know,
Mhm.
people know who they're calling. They know who's on the other end. They know that the person they're talking to understands their situation,
Mhm.
understands their company, and there's none of this. Well, let me tell you my situation all over again from the beginning because the last three people that you transferred me to weren't the right people, and now I'm here. So it,
Yeah.
it's it's so important, I think, for people to know, like you're saying earlier, to have that
Mhm.
team behind you and know
Right.
who your team is.
And then as a local business owner, then you also become a part of our network too,
Yeah.
right? So if someone says, "Hey, I need a roofer," I'm like, "Great. What town are you in? What zip code?" I have guys. I know people that I know are organized and diligent and have good subcontractors that also have insurance, right?
Yeah.
And then also when you ask an insurance agent for a referral, that contractor, for instance, has insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They're insured. When people are working on your house and you're doing business with them, make sure they have insurance so that if
Yeah.
something goes wrong or they burn your house down or Lord knows,
Yeah.
it'll be okay in the end because they have insurance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a really good point. Utilizing the connections between
Mm,
different small businesses, whether it's your insurance agent or accountant or just whatever, right? Having those connections and being able to spread them around is just beneficial for everyone. And so you're kind of being included into this larger team
mm.
when you get involved with a small business. So
I,
that's
I,
great.
I love being a connector. I love recommending. I mean, when I am able to recommend one of my insured to somebody else, it is the biggest win of my week.
Yeah,
I mean, that feels really good.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So last question here before we wrap up, I want to kind of get pick your brain, when it comes to growing your business now,
Mm,
and looking forward, what kind of goals do you have for yourself?
mm.
And, what advice do you give to people that are like, okay, well, I'm kind of here and things are working, but I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, but I want to keep growing. What advice do you give or would you give to those kinds of people?
Well, maybe I'm a little crazy, but I think it's a good thing to bite off more than you can chew. That's how
Okay.
you grow. That's how sometimes if it's not working, then maybe it's not worth it to continue
Yeah.
that method. And that's okay. Just try things. It's all right.
Hmm.
Try going to certain groups, try doing cold calling, I would say I wouldn't do paid Google or Facebook ads until you're doing
Right.
all the free stuff you possibly can
Exactly.
first, right?
Yep.
Don't just try to take the easy way out with the paid ads,
Yeah.
because that also cannot be fruitful in a lot
Mhm.
of cases anyway. So don't waste your money until
Yeah.
you've done every other option. Yeah, I'm not afraid to bite off more than I can chew. Actually, I think that it's okay to have seasons where you are putting in extra hours. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I think that should be a season thing throughout life. I don't
Sure.
think that should be your standard because what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
but that can pay off. And as
Sure.
long as you are taking care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual self, you can handle so much more when you are healthy in those different areas than when you are not healthy in those areas.
Right.
Yeah, fight it off,
I
man.
like I like that idea of seasons. I think
Yeah.
because again, when people, especially new business owners, see that initial climb
Mhm.
and that success, they're
Mhm.
afraid of the drop off. They don't
Mm,
want to do anything that's going to mess with their success.
mm.
But I think you lose a lot of opportunity of learning, testing, seeing what you're capable of, what your business is capable of.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice. Don't be afraid to bite off more than you can chew. It can be scary, but it's okay if there are seasons, the highs
Right.
and lows. And it's not always going to be that constant growth that you see. So, but if you're not trying and you're not exploring, how do you know that you're really maximizing everything that your company can do and bring to the table and benefit you as well?
Absolutely. And part of the fun of being a business owner or even just anybody who's able to market themselves is there's a lot of creativity allowed in there, right? That you can go
Yeah.
nuts and have a good time with. And you may be shocked sometimes at what works and what doesn't. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I think the overall message from today, if anyone were to take anything away, is go for it. One, take
Yeah.
care of yourself, and two, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't get complacent. Don't be afraid of failure. Find what's working, learn from your failures, and just keep growing, keep moving on, and don't be afraid. So
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Well, Alex, I definitely want to give you a chance to just let everybody know how they can find you, how they can contact you.
Mhm.
And again, for everybody who's saying like, well, do you actually talk to other insurance agencies and support each other? Like, here we are
Absolutely.
doing it. So this
Absolutely.
is something that other business owners can be doing too. But let everybody know how they can find you, contact you, and get a quote.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. Again, I am Alex Lammers. And you can just go to lammersinsurance.com. You can schedule a appointment with me with my calendar right on the website. Ask for a quote and call me anytime.
Perfect. Well, Alex, it's been great having you on today. I appreciate all of your insights, some really, really great points, and just a great conversation. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Of course. Well, I mean, we always offer, down the line as this thing continues to grow, we'll have you back on again in a later time, see how things are going. And
Love that.
maybe we have some more pieces of advice, or, we'll just keep the conversation going. So you're
Love
always
that.
more than
Yeah.
welcome to come back.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, hey, everyone else, thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of Behind the Small Business. Again, this is brought to you by Centennial State Insurance Agency. So you can either call Alex or you can call us as well at 303-838-0554. Look up Centennial State Insurance Agency. Again, open invitation to all business owners out there. Whatever kind of business you have, if you are a business owner, you are more than welcome to be here. Let us know, send us a message, send us an email, reach out to us via the phone number, and just say you want to be on the podcast. There's no strings attached, nothing like that. We just want to help you get out your name and your brand. So we'd love to have you on a future episode. So once again, open invitation. But with that being said, guys, we will see you next time with another fantastic guest on another episode of Behind the Small Business. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you later.